I'ma soon forget. So far between the lines, I'ma write a new set, a new beginning. Reflecting on the times that were that hard. I've fallen down many times, but I got mad hard.
Hey YouTube, it's your boy Mexican Lee, Mexican Lee's Therapy Garage, back with another video. We're gonna get a little bit of therapy in today and try to get these fans, this fan shroud, and this radiator support installed in Ghost, along with all the electrical component or wiring and sensor, relays, all that jazz. So let's get started, man. Let me turn this camera around and show you what we got. All right, so remember I had all this covered up. That way I could paint the support and the fan shroud. All that's dry. I took it in the house overnight, so it's dry. It's ready to get put back together. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and install these fans back on it, get them nice and tight. We're gonna go ahead and get this these wire harnesses undone and start getting them routed as far as the wiring, where everything's gonna go. I'm only using one sensor to turn on one fan, and then the other fan, I'm not sure if I'm going to hook it up to the AC pump, so that way it kicks on when the AC kicks on, or if I'm going to just hook up a switch to it. I'm not sure yet how that's going to go. I'll make up my mind once I go ahead and get everything installed in the car, and then we'll get to the wiring aspect of it. But let's walk over here real quick. Man, this stuff came out real nice. She dried overnight and it came out real nice, man. I love that. I love the way it came out. Not too shiny, not too glossy, not too flat. But that's going to look really, really good under this hood. After I paint the car, all that stuff may get touched back up, but if there's any overspray or anything that gets on this stuff, it will get redone. But man, for a certain car, I love the chrome. I love all the, the jewelry and stuff like that under the hood. I already built, when I did the Wolverine, that's all that car was. There's chrome suspension underneath that car. So I didn't want to do that this time with this one. I'm not going to say it was hard to keep clean. It was just a lot of work. Even with this one being painted and not all that shiny stuff on it, it's still going to be hard to keep clean, but that's fine. I just don't want to have to go through all the polishing. I used to put the Wolverine on jack stands and polish that chrome underneath, the tie rods, all the suspension pieces, everything that I had chrome plated, and it was cool, but it just got old. So this car, like I said, I'm gonna drive it, man. I'm gonna drive the hell out this car. So, but anyways, what I'm gonna do first is we're gonna get this fan shroud mocked up on the radiator, and I'm gonna go ahead and drill my holes into the radiator to where I'm gonna mount it. That way it doesn't move. I already did the top. Now we just have to do the bottom. I got to put a small piece of wood underneath there to raise the radiator just a little, maybe about 2 inches. And then go ahead and get that done real quick. But other than that, man, it's not going to be that hard. It shouldn't take me that long. I think I am going to use this port right here for the sensor. And then as of right now, I think I'm going to go ahead and mount the 2 relays for the fans right here. I'll mark the back side of them for which one's going to be either the left or the right fan. And then I want to make it simple, clean, decent. I'm not hiding all the wires underneath the hood. Everything's pretty much where it's going to be at, but I just want it to be, look decent, and not look like a spider web under here, or spaghetti, and just have wires everywhere. I try to do it half-as decent. This relay here is for my air horns. Y'all seen that video. If you haven't, I installed some air horns in here a little while back when I was doing when I added the components for my stereo system, when I added this new alternator on here. And oh man, that thing right there, woo, that thing's a business right there, y'all. So let me hurry up and get this camera turned off and get to work, y'all. All right, YouTube, we're back. So we went ahead and did, like I said, raised up the radiator a little bit. We got the top and the bottom of the shroud mounted. I did scratch it a little bit right there by where the screws are at. One here, over there, but that's all right, man. I ain't pressed about that. That's gonna get covered up anyways. Once I put the radiator support on there, that'll get covered up. So let me get away from that light. I had to bring a light over this way. So now, okay, that's the right size. We're gonna go ahead and pull that plug. I shouldn't have that much coolant leaking, but I'm gonna go outside of the shop and grab my big aluminum pan that I have that I use to put underneath the engines and whatnot. See whatever little bit of fluid that is, or coolant that is in that hose that's on this side of well, actually, once I take that off and pull that thermostat out, it's going to drain anyway. So let me go ahead and go outside, get that pan. Then we're going to go ahead and put that sensor in, put the new thermostat in, the gasket, get all that done, and then we'll cut you back on here in a second. All right, so I chose to go ahead and we're going to take some of this fluid out of here, coolant, fluid, whatever you want to call it, water. We're going to go ahead and get some of that out of there, make a little bit of room, so that way when I do undo that thermostat housing, I don't want it to leak all over the engine or all over my floor. You see how I got the pan down here to catch it, and then my little bucket. So we're going to try to do the best we can to try not and make a mess down here. Excuse me. Man, it ain't no QA1, but it's all new and it looks great. Just a little dirty, but it's all brand new, man. All Moog suspension bushings, tie rods, you name it. Everything down here was Moog. Control arms, the upper ones I rebuilt. Oh no, the upper ones I bought preloaded from Moog, and the bottom ones I cleaned up and rebuilt with all Moog bushings. But just had to show y'all the bottom real quick. Just the front half. I haven't done the back half or the middle half of the body yet, the frame, but that's coming. We'll get to that later. But all right, let's get this camera off and get to work. All right, so what I did, so it wouldn't make such a mess, I went ahead and took this plug out, pop open the thermostat a little bit. I don't know if you can see in there. That way we can get some of the coolant out the block. That way she don't go ahead and make such a mess down there, man. I got a little drip that came out when I first took that plug out. Wipe that up a little bit, so we're good to go now, man. All right, so let's keep pushing. All right, YouTube, we're back. So we got the coolant leveled down. Got my thermostat, my gasket ready. Got the thermostat housing off. I thought I was going to have to use this fitting that came with that kit, but I don't have to after all. This right here is the same size thread and it's going to work. It's going to work right there, so I don't have to put another fitting in there. So we'll go ahead and I already got this cleaned up. Now I just got to clean that surface of the intake off, get that thermostat out. Go ahead and put this back together. Then we'll go ahead and start getting the wiring out and getting all that done. Let's see. I did take off a couple of my vacuum lines. The one for the vacuum bottle, the canister, and then the other one for the timing advance. So I pulled them out the way, and we were able to get some room in there to go ahead and get that thermostat housing off. So she's ready to rock and roll, y'all. Let's get her done. And there was nothing wrong with this thermostat. I could have reused it, but shit, for another, what, $7, might as well get, you know, a new one, replace it. This one is a 180. That's what I had in there. And like I said, she opened up, she did her thing, but it just, with that mechanical fan, or the fan clutch, and that is an extreme duty fan clutch, man, it was still getting pretty warm. Especially once I kicked on that AC, and I'm, you know, driving from my house all the way to work, stop and go traffic, this thing was getting hot. There was times where I had to roll my windows down, and I'm talking 110 degrees outside, and try to get this thing to cool off once I turn the AC off, but that needle was still up there. She'd climb down a little bit, but then she'd go up, climb down, go back up. But this right here should solve that whole problem for me. So let me go ahead and get this thermostat housing and thermostat installed, and we'll cut you back on here in a little bit. All right, YouTube, we're back. So we got the brand new 180 thermostat installed. Got the thermostat housing back on. Got the sensor installed. Everything's nice and tight. My vacuum lines are hooked back up. So now on to the wiring of the fans. Let me go ahead and clean this section off real quick. Get these tools put away that I don't need. And then go get the relays. So we'll cut you back on here in a second. All right, YouTube, we're back. Real quick, I wanted to point something out. Now, these two kits that I ordered are from SPAL, right? SPAL. And the thing I like about these guys, and I'm pretty sure there's other ones that do the same. My last kit that I ordered from these guys had the same thing. All these wires are labeled. So it tells you exactly where to hook them up. This one, the yellow is going to go to the 12-volt source battery, not ignition. The red, see if I can find it. The red lead is going to go to the power of the fan, the positive power side to the fan. Right here. Check it out. Focus. Come on, camera. Well, anyways, there's a little writing right there. Okay. My camera's not focusing. I might have got a little bit of dirt on it. And the orange is going to be your ignition. Okay, that's going to go to your ignition, which is going to be key on. Orange is going to go to key on, and then gray goes to the sensor. So let me double check. But they also have directions that you can look up that will tell you exactly where everything's going to go. But like I said, and this camera's not going to focus, but nah, she ain't going to focus. But the lettering's there, just like on these on there. So you can't mix those up. Those are real easy to read. We're going to get these over to the car. Here goes my fuse holders. Eventually, what I want to do is, like how I was saying, I want to make a panel that's going to screw into the fender that's going to hold all the relays. Eventually, I want to make that look nice and neat, kind of like the factory would have put that there, or I may order a box that has like 6 relays in it and then has fuses on the relays all on one box that's waterproof. I may install one of those later, but for now, we're just going to do it like this, just like how I have this that relay there. That goes and that runs my air horns. Then I'm going to just mount the other 2 relays next to it or on this side. And then we'll go ahead and split all the wiring off to where they need to go. The second fan, I think, like I said, I'm going to test it and see how it's going to work, hooking it up to the the power source that's going to turn on the AC pump. So normally with that AC pump, it doesn't kick on and off, on and off, on and off. So the fan won't just go back and forth, on and off. That thing runs, because down here, like I say, I'm in Texas. That thing's going to constantly run. So that fan, every time that pump will kick on, that fan will kick on. That's my one option that I'm really thinking about trying, at least to see how it's going to work. If that doesn't work, then I'll undo that one wire and I'll run that into the car into a toggle switch. And that'll be able to, I'll be able to control that fan, the second fan, by hand. All right. So y'all stay tuned. Let me get to work. All right, YouTube, we're back, finally. And you can't see, but it's dark outside. Got everything wired up. I haven't wire loomed any of the wires. I got them just ran. They will get wire loomed and zip tied. The relays are mounted. I'll take that tape off. I just wanted to know. I already wrote on the back which is which, so I'll know which one controls which fan. Also got the fan shroud installed, or the radiator support installed. Looks great. Fans are in there. Fan shroud looks awesome. I am going to put some brackets, some clamps. I'm going to straighten this line out, and then I'm going to fasten it to this so that way it's not bouncing around and scratching that up. One thing, I did turn the car on. I just turned the key on once I hooked the battery up, and I was hoping, I wasn't sure how this was going to work with the AC. I was hoping that when the AC pump would kick on, the fan would kick on only. But as soon as I turned the key on, the fan it turns on, the one that's hooked up for the AC pump. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. I'm thinking I may have to run it actually up to the pressure switch and test that and see how that works. But for now, I unhooked it. I just tapped into the green wire that runs to the AC pump. So I don't know, whoever's gonna watch this, let me know what you think. I was told I didn't need a trinary switch because this isn't a swap. It's, all original. Talked to a couple people. They said I didn't need a trinary switch, that I could just run it off of this system here. So, let me know what I'm doing wrong, y'all. But we're going to go ahead and fire this thing up and see if she comes up to temp. Let that, hopefully that thermostat, the brand new thermostat, opens up and does its job. So y'all going to see it live. Oh, come on, baby. So we'll let her warm up. Let's see what she does. Oh, you know what? Did I hook all my vacuums back up? Yep. Sounds like I hear a little slight vacuum leak somewhere. All right, we'll check that out here in a little while. I'm not worried about that. My main thing is once this cooling gets sucked down, that thermostat opens up, we're gonna see if it kicks that fan on. No leaks. Got my fuses right here that control the fans. So let's see what happens, y'all. See if y'all can see that. I noticed I was doing some footage a little bit ago when I was doing some of the wiring, when I had that in the hyperlapse. My lens was dirty and I didn't pay attention to that. I just kept moving, trying to get this done, and I kind of screwed that up a little bit. So keep an eye on that temp. I put the seat in here just for the meantime. Cooling level's decent. I took maybe about a gallon out just to kind of help for when I took that thermostat housing off. I didn't want it to overflow, go crazy. So, and that little whistling, I don't know, it's driving me nuts. So I will be finding that. Trust and believe, I will be finding that. I'm climbing up yet. Motor's pretty cold. It ain't ran in a minute, so man, I don't know if that's a vacuum leak or if that's just the way the carburetor sounds. Like the little air horns on there, baby. They're gonna hear this joker when I blow them horns. So yeah, like I was saying, as soon as I turned the key on, the fan that's hooked up to the AC pump turned on. Once I turned the switch on for the AC, it turned off. So maybe I got it wired backwards or something, I'm not sure, but we'll figure it out. All right, she's starting to climb up. And these fans, boy, they pull some, they put a little bit of juice. I can't remember, I didn't read the paperwork to see how much amps they pull each one. But right now I have a 30 amp fuse hooked up to it. So I do have a 40 amp fuse, which came with the kit, with the wiring kit, the harness. So we'll see how it reacts to those. But for now I put the 30s in there. The temp sender is a 185 and 175, so it'll kick on, the fan should kick on at 185 and then turn off at 175. So let's see if we did this right. do like running both fans, so I may have to hook that up to a toggle switch, which is not a big deal. Oh, you know what? Let me go up front and make sure my coolant's not overflowing. Oh, geez. Starting to come up a little bit. She should be kicking on any minute. The thermostat should be opening up pretty soon. Maybe I should put the radiator cap on there just till she does open. I don't want this thing spewing if I get back in the car to check the gauge. Getting pretty close. Maybe we'll put the cap on it. It won't have that much pressure in it anyway, so I just don't want it to overflow. Come on, man, it should be turning on. Unless my gauge is off a little bit. I don't know, y'all. Maybe it ain't gonna work. Should have kicked on by now, I believe. Not unless my temp sender, the factory one, is not reading correctly. I'm gonna go let it go a little bit longer, and then we're gonna go ahead and shut her down. That thermostat should have opened up by now. Let me cut you off for a second. Alright, YouTube. This one kicked my ass. I guess I'm thinking I got a faulty thermostat because it's not flowing, it's not opening up and letting any water get in the engine block. But I messed up and poked a hole in my radiator. When I lifted it up to put this fan shroud on, I didn't protect this side of the radiator, so now I got a hole in there. You see her spewing right there. So I got to take this bad boy out, go take it back to the radiator shop, let them have it for a couple days, have them repair it, and then I'll get it back, get it installed, and get with O'Reilly's about this thermostat. So I figured it was gonna work, at least that part of it, but for some reason that thermostat don't want to open. So yes, the radiator's my fault. Also, I'm not sure, like I said, that with just the key on, that fan's triggering without the AC switch being on, so I got to redo that too. But like I said, man, I don't know everything. I don't act or play to know everything. All this is a learning experience for myself as well. I didn't have this issue when I had when I put this stuff on the Wolverine, but hey, man, things happen. So y'all see it live. Ghost ain't running. She got hot. Didn't overheat, but I shut it down. Plus I had this other fan going. So we lost today, y'all. Got everything wired up and hooked up, but just it ain't 100%. So, but anyways, appreciate y'all for following me, man. Y'all see me fail today, but it's all good. We'll lose the war today, but we'll be ready definitely to fight tomorrow. Always. So back to the drawing board. And always like, comment, subscribe, and appreciate everybody. We're out.
It's time I picked up all the pieces. It's so frustrating. Let me out of this cage. I'ma soon forget. So far between the lines, I'ma write a new set, a new beginning. Reflecting on the times that were that hard. I've fallen down many times, but I